Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has been on my radar since it aired on Nickelodeon more than 6 years ago. TMNT 2012 has been on my radar for much longer than that. I've talked about both extensively before, especially 2012, and today I'll be comparing two episodes, one from each show, that are nearly identical in their plots, but achieve very different results. That's right folks, you guys loved when I compared Teen Titans and TMNT 2003, as well as Ben 10 Classic and Reboot, so we're back with A.S.K vs. Air to compare Cockroach Terminator from TMNT 2012 to Mrs. Cuddles from Rise, to see which episode handles the Raphael phobia shtick better. Did Rise rip off 2012? Let's find out. Cockroach Terminator starts with Donnie showcasing his new invention, a cockroach turned spy roach that scares the crap out of Raph. I love Raph, as you guys know, he's my favorite turtle, so I happen to love this episode. I've said it before, my favorite episode of this show, Cockroach Terminator, literally made me scared to death of bugs like that when I was a kid. When Raph is center stage, it usually does quite well.
You can see?
I can see. Though looking at you, I'm already kind of missing the blind thing.
We learned about Raph's fear of bugs, which by the way has been a thing since 2003.
Bugs! I hate bugs!
Great consistency in that regard. It totally makes sense that a tough guy like Raph would have a so-called character flaw like that. It's just too good. Love this theme song. The Roach spies on the Krang, who are planning on drilling into the ground once they grab a diamond drill, all the way to the Earth's core, until New York becomes a volcano. After they accidentally mess around with it, the Spy Roach falls into a vat of mutagen and transforms into a super cockroach thing. Bro, this shit freaked me out as a kid, because I also had a problem with bugs, as I think most folks do, and this animation certainly didn't help anyone. Now we have the main villain established. The Rise episode, Mrs. Cuddles, begins with April telling the Turtles about her new acting job, alongside a bunny thing named Mrs. Cuddles, which terrifies Raph. This sets up his fear immediately in this 11-minute episode. Why is he afraid of bunnies? We have no idea. See, this episode lends itself more to comedy, because unlike cockroaches, bunnies are inherently non-scary, so it doesn't even do comedy properly because there's no reason to be scared of a bunny. Unless you're 4, this probably isn't as relatable or substantive as Raph's fear of roaches in the 2012 episode. That's funny because it's a tiny little roach, but at least we as kids or adults can relate to that phobia. Being afraid of a bunny is just mocking Raph for something inconsequential. Anyway, enough ranting about this point. The Turtles and Splinter mock Raph for his fear, because even Master Splinter is a flanderized piece of crap in this version. Hey, if you're allowed to change things so drastically, I'm allowed to criticize them, alright? The bunny prop comes to life and actually begins terrorizing Raph. Before we can tell his bros, it reverts to harmless again like it's freaking Woody. They don't believe him, because that's a cliche we haven't heard before. Wasn't it literally Mikey who had this trope happen to him in the 2012 show? Both shows suffer from this cliche. I was gonna think of a moment like that from 2003, but the writers back then didn't need such a painfully obvious plot device to tell their story. 2012 is not innocent either, though. Speaking of, back to Cockroachville, the Turtles run into the bug on the street and have a hard time fighting it off. Raph hurts it with a manhole cover shooter, but it manages to get away, which freaks him out even more. They try and fight the Krang to stop them from getting the diamond lens they need to drill, but the Roach shows up and kicks everyone's ass. Raph hides during this fight, but Mikey sprays the bug with some bug spray.
We're not done with you yet, Spy Roach!
Wait, that's it, right? Episode over?
Yes, nail him, Mikey! Uh-oh.
Oh, of course it did. Can't Donnie just make a gun that shoots the stuff? Oh Jesus, there we go. Done now, right?
Cockroaches are among the most resilient life forms on the planet.
And the grossest.
Of course. Is this Roach coming out of the fire? They got it looking like the Shredder Strikes Back. Roach disappears again and the guys are back on the run. Similarly, Raph tries to run from Mr. Cuddles, and when April goes to look for her, she too discovers the secret behind it. Then it comes after Donnie.
Oh dear me, gasp, it is Mrs. Cuddles. Nice try, Raph, come on out.
God, I love the voice here. Fits his character quite well. They never seem to miss with Dawn's voice, do they? After Raph traps Mrs. Cuddles, Splinter lets him out for no goddamn reason. I hate you, new Splinter. The bunny has a saw?
He has a saw! The cockroach has a saw!
Well, would you look at that? The Roach is pretty mad at Raph for trying to kill him in the beginning of the episode, so they basically use Raph as bait to grab the bug. I never understood even since childhood why he slams his head against the trash can. It's just funny to me now.
I'm sorry I tried to smash you, okay? I'm sorry. I'll never be cruel again. Just leave me alone.
On one condition.
Anything!
Be good to Michelangelo.
Always love this particular clip. The cockroach molts, or loses exoskeleton after being trapped in some cement, and transforms into... Holy frickin' moly! That is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, alright, this show looks spectacular for its time. The giant, whatever the hell it is, captures Mikey and flies off, leaving Raph to confront his fear as he gets on his motorcycle to save his brother. In the same way, Mrs. Cuddles captures the other three turtles, leaving Splinter and Raph to fight it alone. You ever had a joke where a character screams for 20 seconds uninterrupted? It's better lead to a good punchline.
Sorry, but hopefully Raph heard me.
Astronauts heard you.
You got lucky.
Such a silly Billy!
Oh, you silly goose, you. In Cockroach Terminator fashion, Raph terminates the cockroach thing, fighting it all by himself and shutting down the entire Krang drill operation fight before it hits the Earth's core. I guess it would have been nice to not go through 90% of the Earth, but I guess as long as they don't puncture the frickin' molecular membrane that is the core, there's no damage done.
You think I'm scared of you? I aced your butt twice already. You wanna go for number 3, huh?
This was so cool as a kid. Totally rewarding after an episode crapping on Raph's insecurities, to see him overcome them and beat all the baddies in just a few minutes. The ending of the episode is also hilarious, as we get a cute little joke with Mikey still scaring Raph with the roaches. This is the definitive Raph episode, man, and it will never get old. Now, getting back to Rise here, I really don't know why Splinter also fights alongside Raph, since he basically does all the work in defeating the bunny. Laughter seems to be the bunny's weakness, and yeah, this is not even hidden or subtle, just blatantly obvious and predictable if you watch the episode with at least one eye open. Splinter does all the laughing, and Raph barely even gets physical with it. The entire thing is quick as hell, and it really doesn't make it feel like it's developing Raph's characterization. He doesn't really overcome anything, and we only lose respect for him as a leader, really. I mean, why would an entire episode mock the supposed new leader of the Turtles, which he never should have been in the first place, and never give him any closure with that insecurity? Yeah, this episode isn't terrible, but it's just about what I expected. Just mediocre, focusing way too much on cheap laughs, when the more serious episode actually makes me laugh in a much more substantive way. Anyway, what did you think of Cockroach Terminator and Mrs. Cuddles? Which episode did you prefer? Which show do you prefer? Let me know all those juicy hot takes and opinions in the comments down below, and I'll heart and pin my favorites. Like the video and subscribe if you're new, and follow all the socials to keep up with my tomfoolery. I'll see you beautiful ladies and jellyfish in the next one.